So here we are on the southern tip of Chequamegon Bay of Lake Superior, just outside the city of Ashland, which is right over that way. It's been blowing 20 to 40 for a while out there, but it looks like it's going to come down this afternoon and be in the 15 to 25 mile per hour range for wind. Bill Bland and I are gonna go take a sail up on the eastern shore, put in on the eastern shore, hoping for a little bit cover up there as we start our ventures, and then expect the wind to come down just a little bit. Well, today we're up on Lake Superior again in the Chequamegon Bay. That's this part here of Lake Superior near the Apostle Islands. There's a track of where we ended up going for the day, and give you an idea how the boat was tacking. So the original plan for the weekend was to get out with my friend Mark on his 40-foot Valiant. It's a beautiful boat he bought. Been sitting in a marina for about 5 years with about 3 feet of water inside of it, and he spent a good 10 years refitting it, and it is a beautiful boat to sail. A totally different experience from what I have in my boat, but still a good time. All right, so Bill and I are down at the Rod and Gun, what is it? The Northern Wisconsin Rod and Gun Club. They have a beautiful little launch out here on the edge of Chequamegon Bay. That's where we're heading. It's fun to get out with a fellow sailor in a Welsford boat. So Bill and I have been doing this on and off the last few years. So we're expecting it to start out a little bit exciting out there. I'm gonna start with the double reef in, and I find when it's blowing really hard, I keep the jib rolled up, sail on the main with just the mizzen up, just enough. I keep it really pretty slack, but it helps when if it's shifty, it still helps keep me pointed upwind if there's a big unexpected blow, but I don't rely on it too much for power, and that just helps balance a little. Get off the dock a little bit, give myself a little bit of room to get everything set up. Bill's gonna be heading this way in a minute. Okay, so main is set up with the reef, 2 reefs. A lot of downhaul pressure. I've got the snotter snug. Keep the sail flat for now till we see what we got. Time to turn the motor off and do some sailing. So it's pretty bouncy out here. The wind is such that there's some big puffs that come through, and I could put the jib out right now, but I need to be paying attention in those puffs. The nice thing about this setup is I'm still kind of sorting out the boat. We're moving along at 2.5, 3 knots, and when those puffs come, the mizzen just, I don't hardly feel it. I feel a little bit, but the boat is definitely safe without 100% of my attention. So we're heading up along the edge of this slough. There's some backwater up here around this point up ahead there. If you can still make out Bill, he's quite a ways ahead of me. In the rough chop, the Pathfinder, I think the little longer length helps him punch through that a little better. Sailing along at 4.5 knots on average here, so making decent time. Trying to head upwind. Bill and I are sitting in about 4 feet of water, and what's the name of this slough? Kakagon Slough.
So famous wild rice.
Yeah, so there's wild rice beds up near the end of here. Yep, Bad River Reservation. The charts say this is about 4 feet of water we're in. Haven't thrown anything overboard to see, but we're just floating on the breeze. It's still blowing pretty good out here, but not much of a fetch, so it's a little quieter. Out in the bay, it's still kicking up a little bit. Coming around the point there, doesn't look like there's been much activity here for a while. Only way out to these cabins out here is by boat. Long Island up there. And nice sparkly water over here. And Bill desperately trying to catch up. It's settled into a beautiful afternoon. Doing about 4.5 knots. We're going to head over to the La Pointe Lighthouse. There's 2 lighthouses on Sand Island ahead of us here. One's at the very end of it, near the town of La Pointe, and the other is called La Pointe Lighthouse, and that's actually a mile or so closer to us, about dead ahead here. We're sailing along up to the beach here in about, it looks like 2 feet of water. It's probably more like 8. Lake Superior water is pretty darn clean and clear, easy to see through. It's really disconcerting when you look down though and you see big boulders and they look like they're a foot away and they're actually 20 feet down. Just gonna run up on the beach here and hike across. I can hear the waves on the other side. Pretty nice and calm here. I've got I kind of pull my boom end up. Makes it easy because when I drop the main now, it'll stay up above my head. Bill's out there wrapping some things up, getting his main down. I'd use the anchor buddy, but looks really calm on the shore here, so I'm not worried about anything getting washed up into the centerboard case, which was why I got an anchor buddy in the first place. Alright, I gotta check and see how deep it is here. Oh my gosh, I can't hit bottom with this, so I've got a good 5 feet of water, probably more. Well, here comes Bill. I got rid of my power too soon. I had to paddle in the last little bit there. So this is Long Island. Goes, like I said, out to the city of La Pointe, and then all the way back into the mainland. It's, I don't know how many miles long it is, but it's a long, thin strip of sand between Chequamegon Bay and Lake Superior and the rest of the Apostle Islands. So here we are on the lake side of Long Island. Wind's been coming out of the west and the north. North is pretty much straight across here. So it's had a chance to work up some waves. Looks like it'd be a beautiful day out there. I don't know if you can see, but down this way there's a bunch of sailboats out. City of Bayfield is on the far shore. And down this beach is, around the corner is a La Pointe Lighthouse. We're not going to walk there today. Time to head home. About a 5-mile run home. Beam to Broad Reach. Beautiful evening sail. We found a little, looked like a baby snapping turtle on the beach over there. That was kind of interesting. So I was thinking about that. The sailing's great, but sometimes it's just the places you end up going and the things you end up finding along the way that make this kind of sailing so much fun. Well, I've got my spot on the horizon that I'm aiming towards, and it's kind of standing up with the tiller against my leg, keeping me going the right direction. My friend told me, you know, hey, as we get older here, doctor says I gotta work on balance. So I figure I'm doing my part. So far I've stayed in the boat. So like if you're trying to get maximum boat speed, sitting in the very back of the boat, leaned up against the transom and just chillaxing, nose of the boat a little bit too much out of the water. Yeah. Probably losing part of a knot, but it sure is relaxing, and I love the sound. do a wind behind me sail to the dock. We'll see how that goes. Big mainsail comes down, jib gets rolled up, go in under mizzen, and hook the dock. Usually works great. I'm not videotaping that. Back at the dock. Bill's getting his boat out. I'll be following him up here soon. What a gorgeous sail. Our sail back from Long Island, I spent a lot of time over 5 knots. And just a nice fun sail. Great to get out and spend time with a friend and time on the water. 9 hours later, we're back where we started. About an hour drive home from here as the sunset. Stopped, had a quick dinner in Ashland before heading back to Superior.